being on with me this afternoon. I was just trying to write down all the connections. And what's interesting to me, you know, they say, oh, you called Brian Albert's brother, Kevin. I'm sure there's a point by the defense. And this guy says, oh, I don't know, I can't recall. How do you think he's doing overall on cross-examination, noting that there are a lot of maybe fairly, I don't have a recollection, I don't recall, don't remember?
So from a case presentation standpoint, this is something that the examiner has to be wary of, because I think he's losing the jury. Like, there's so many details. There's no fact that's getting punched in there, and we're going through this timeline, and we all understand like the underlying theory that somehow this guy might be motivated to hide something or conspire to, you know, frame. But it's not punching, and that's, you know, we see a lot of details with that punch, and I think he may be losing a jury at this point unless something big happens soon.
Do you think if something big doesn't happen, do you think you might have only crossed him on this whole Karen Reed interest in a relationship with her? And, well, he didn't say he wanted a sexual relationship with her. He did say, well, I texted she was hot. So do you think that you would have left it at that for that punch, just so jurors might be thinking like, oh, maybe he was involved?
Yeah, exactly. I would have totally maybe put that at the end so that you have that leaving and you have the break or whatever it is, so that it just sinks in, so that the jury's allowed to make connections of what they just heard. But it was really moved on a little bit too quickly. And again, this is a presentation issue when you're doing these cases and you prepare so long, and sometimes you get lost in these details and you lose the story you're trying to deliver to the jury. And I think that's happening.
And to your point, Ron, we've seen very long cross-examinations, and theoretically, trial skills teaches us not to do long cross-examinations. You want to get in and get out. You want to hit your main points. You want the jury to hear what you're saying. You don't really care what the answer is, and then you want to sit down. Is that how you tend to try cases in general?
Yeah, that's the rule, because typically cross-examinations are at the tail end of a very, very long period of hearing any witness speak. So you want to get in and you want the jury to really kind of have an emotional, remember you from an emotional stuff of how you come about it, versus, oh my God, we're going through another timeline, and they start confusing things. Again, 100%. You go in, you get out, and you just want to make an impact, mostly an emotional impact with the jury.
Yeah, I agree with you. And there are a lot of details in this case. Ron, you'll stay with us, please. After the break, we're going to get us all back into the killer or cover-up murder trial.